Chancellor, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, on a very damp morning, a very warm welcome to the 134th ceremony for the conferring of degrees of Bond University. This morning we will confer degrees in the Bond Business School and in the Faculty of Law. Please join with me in thanking our Piper, Bond alumnus, Pipe Sergeant Nick Tompkins. It is now my great pleasure to introduce the University's seventh Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Tim Brailsford.
Well, good morning, everyone. I usually start with a comment along the lines of what a wonderful day it is, and it's a shame to be inside because of the glorious weather on the Gold Coast. Unfortunately, I can't commence today's proceedings with such a line, but the rain is more than welcome. And indeed, I know that a number of our country folk just south of the border will be very much welcoming it. And I know there is at least one student graduating here today who his parents suffered some severe hardship during the week with the fires, so our thoughts to you and to the community. Graduation days are always particularly special events. They're great events because they're a celebration of achievement. I'm so pleased that so many students are here today to celebrate their own personal achievements and to celebrate the achievements of their classmates as well. I'm delighted that there are so many supporters, friends, family who are also able to share this occasion with us. Let me commence by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet here today, and they are the people of the Yugambeh language group. And I pay my respects to elders past, present, emerging, and do so on your behalf in the spirit of reconciliation. Thank you to those who have travelled. There are a number of people here in the audience who have travelled long distances to be here today. I'm sure our graduands very much appreciate your presence. And indeed, if you look around the room here, you will see the flags from the various countries from which our students originate. And I think we have now surpassed more than 100 countries. And when this university was originally opened, the university sought to distinguish itself in part by having an international mindset. And we do so today. And we carry on those fine traditions from our founders and our establishment. And we're proud to be international. And roughly speaking, about a third of our students come from overseas. About a third of our students come from other Australian states, non-Queensland. And about a third of our students come from Queensland. We are Australia's most diverse campus in that regard. So when our students turn up to day one in their class, they never quite know whether they're going to be sitting next to someone from London, or Shanghai, or Tokyo, or New York, or Geneva, or Adelaide, or Canberra, or Oodnadatta, or Hobart, or the Gold Coast. And that diversity we celebrate, and we celebrate today through our graduating class. There are a number of special guests who are able to be here with us today. The University's 8th Chancellor, the Honourable Dr. Annabel Bennett, who will preside over today's ceremony, and her husband, the Honorary Professor Dr. David Bennett. We're pleased to welcome back to campus the University's 5th Chancellor, Dr. Imelda Roche. We have an honorary graduate this morning, Mr. Alan Finch, and Alan is joined by his wife, Kristen McKenzie, and family and friends, noting in particular Julian and Lisa Warner. I warmly welcome the Honourable Karen Andrews MP, the Minister for Industry, Science and Technology. Ms Andrews is also the member for the Federal Electorate of Macpherson, and she's a great supporter of the university. Thank you, Minister, as always. I see Dr. Sahel Abedian and Ms Anne Jamison Abedian in the audience. Sahel is, of course, patron of the Abedian School of Architecture. He is also a great friend and supporter of the university. You're always welcome, Sahel. My fellow university councillors, Mr Victor Hugentink, Dr Darryl Gregor, Mr Derek Cronin and Dr Manny Pole. Members of the university company, proud parents, family members, my Bond colleagues, and of course, all of you there, today's graduating class. I said before that this room today is distinguished by the flags of the nations from which our students originate. And while the world appears to be embarking on an era of closed borders, nationalism and harmful protectionism, it is pleasing to work in a place that embraces the global community. And I trust that those values and the sense of global citizenship are core attributes that today's graduating class possess. And on this occasion, I wish to particularly acknowledge our graduates from the wonderful country of Japan. There are several of you there. We have a long-standing relationship with Japan, and each ceremony there are a number of Japanese students that graduate. That country is becoming a shining light in moving from an insular nationalistic society to one that is embracing the world. The Rugby World Cup has been a stellar success, and next year's Olympic Games, I'm sure, will be likewise. The opening of doors and windows in Japan contrast sharply with those that are closing elsewhere. You each have a copy of today's program, and I trust that you can follow the proceedings from there. To the audience, I ask you to be patient and respect each and every one of our graduates as they cross the stage. It's important that they each have their moment in the limelight. They've certainly earned and deserve it. On rare occasions, the university awards a person of particular merit a doctor of the university, commonly known as an honorary doctorate. Doctor of the University honoris causa is the Latin. This award is the highest honour that a university can bestow on an individual. Candidates for the award must have made a sustained and outstanding contribution to both the university and to have truly excelled in their chosen field of endeavour. Perhaps, unlike some of our other public university institutions, this university is not in the habit of bestowing this award frequently, nor easily, or indeed in response to the latest social media campaign. That's a joke. Work with me, folks. Indeed, this university has only made 26 such awards over our 30-year history, the rate of less than one per year. Chancellor, I now present to you a person for the university's 27th award of the Doctor of the University honoris causa. Alan Douglas Finch has a long and proud history associated with Bond University. He was initially educated at Ararat High School in Western Victoria and subsequently graduated from the University of Melbourne with a Bachelor of Arts degree. His early career was in the commercial world as a graduate trainee with General Motors Holden, prior to him taking up a lifelong career in higher education. He first joined the staff of this university well before Bond enrolled any students. His first position at Bond was as Assistant Registrar, which he took up in 1987 as part of the early cohort of staff who were engaged in the planning of the new campus. He arrived on the Gold Coast having been recruited from Monash University in Melbourne, where he'd been Assistant Registrar of Arts for almost 2 decades. Amongst his early tasks and achievements at Bond, Alan was responsible for the drafting of various rules, our regulations, initial policies that set the way in which the university would operate for the following 3 decades. This included the innovative 3-semester accelerated academic calendar. Many of those instruments and policies are still in play today and form the framework of Bond's ability to conduct its business in such a highly and efficient, effective manner. So the university opened in 1989, and Alan Finch was soon appointed to the position of Registrar in July 1990 and occupied that position with only a short break into the wilderness during the mid-1990s, in joke there, Alan, until October 2009. He was subsequently appointed to the roles of Pro Vice-Chancellor, Students and Academic Support, and ultimately Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Students and Support Services in 2018. With over 27 years of service to the university, Alan has been present and intimately involved in many significant moments during the life of Bond, including, but not limited to, the completion of the contractual arrangements that gave the university possession, ownership and ultimately independence over its land in August 1999, an event which we celebrated the 20th anniversary of recently. He was recognised with a 25-year service award in 2017. Central to the university's mission, Mr Finch has been at the coalface of regular and effective engagement with our students, and in particular, the student leadership. I'm sure almost every student here at some point in time has come across Mr Finch. A recent president of the Student Association noted that it's invaluable to the student body to have that kind of access to senior management of the university. It would not happen anywhere else. He went on to say that Alan was the de facto godfather of the student body, stating, "I don't know what this university would do without him." From the earliest days, Alan Finch has held a great rapport with our students. It is safe to say that he is fondly remembered by almost all of the university's 28,000 alumni. Bond University enjoys an international reputation for the quality of its support to our student body. We are the envy of the nation's universities in this regard, and much of our success can be traced to Alan's leadership, his style, his manner, and his care for each and every student. Alan has also generously provided the benefit of his vast experience within the higher education sector, including roles as Chair of the Independent Higher Education Australia. He was a ministerial appointee to the Queensland Study Authority and Chair of the Queensland Study Authority Finance Committee. A significant chapter in the often tumultuous life of this university will come to a close in December this year, when Mr Finch eventually retires. Chancellor, in my view, and in the unanimous view of the University Council, the Executive of the Academic Senate, my colleagues, and I'm sure I speak on behalf of the student body, it is more than appropriate that his contribution be recognised by this award. Throughout his career at the university from 1987, Alan has made a sustained and outstanding contribution to the life of the university and greatly enhanced the student experience. Chancellor, I now present to you Alan Douglas Finch for the award of Doctor of the University Honoris Causa. I now invite Dr Finch to provide the occasional address.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, members of Bond University Council, graduands and your families and friends. Chancellor, may I thank you and the Council for deciding to bestow upon me this singular honour today. When I graduated, a lifetime ago, probably 2 lifetimes for you people, I would not have believed anyone who had suggested to me what path my career would take. So today I decided to talk about being part of something that can unfold in unexpected and fulfilling ways. In doing this, I'll share a little with you about the birth and the maturation of our university. How did Bond's grand vision to be a world-class university, a university with a difference, a university with a strong focus on personal care and a student transformational experience come about in 30 years, such that it is now rated as one of the top 20 small universities in the world? Our claim to this position is underpinned by our research productivity, but also by our academic and student support. both of which have consistently focused on the quality of the student experience. In July 1987, when I started at Bond at number 9 Alcorn Avenue in Surfers Paradise, the then Advisory Council, which comprised representatives of the 3 major metropolitan universities in Brisbane and representatives of the Bond EIE joint venture, had in 1986 envisaged a University of Technology with an eventual enrolment of 10,000 students. The initial plan included the proposed faculties and the projected enrolment for each of them, but there was absolutely nothing about how we would treat our students, nor the sort of experience that the university should seek to give them. The quality of student experience, which more recently has been thought to epitomise Bond, was initially an afterthought, a reaction to the realisation that if students were unhappy with our product, there was little prospect of Bond surviving. And when you start with only 322 students in your first intake, you want to make darn sure that they have a positive experience. At the very first public welcome on the morning of 15 May 1989, in what is now the Sellers Theatre, Don Watts, the Foundation Vice-Chancellor, offered to personally drive into Surfers Paradise and pick up any student who found themselves in difficulty. As far as I know, Don was never roused from his sleep in the early hours to do this, but his "how can I help you" attitude was perhaps the first public expression of the student-focused ethos of our university. Today, if any of you get into significant difficulty, we hear about it and we try to help. In my years of directly managing campus security, I'd be rung up at any hour of the night with news of student misadventures. These calls usually seem to happen between 2 and 4 a.m. Not surprisingly, because that's the time when students return to the nest. But it is the time also when registrars are deeply asleep. But I mention this simply to illustrate the understanding that we have of pastoral care here at Bond, because in a public university, this level of concern for individual well-being is still unusual. We regarded those initial cohorts of students as fellow travellers, as individuals who were prepared to risk investing heavily at a university without a reputation, and one that charged full tuition fees in an otherwise government subsidised sector at that time. We very quickly realised we had to add value. Initially, because of its fee structure, Bond was regarded as a university for rich kids, as an exclusive university. Interestingly, this elitist reputation, which was intended to be a criticism of us, actually encouraged parents to send their children to Bond. That happened because the product was good, our reputation was growing, and people were prepared to pay for a quality educational experience which focused on individual student care. The introduction of government-supported fee help loans in 2009 changed Bond into a more inclusive university, enabling a broader domestic student base. However, our students were and still are individuals who've made a deliberate and considered decision to invest in their futures here. And we regard you all as part of the global Bond family. The Bond philosophy of individual student care came about because of the commitment of early Bond staff to providing a high-quality education and effective support services. The first staff were also risk takers. I say that because at that time the future of the fledgling university was quite uncertain, and it was a huge leap to leave a secure job in the public sector to come here in the late 80s and early 90s. And yet then and now, Bond has always attracted excellent staff. I remember my first sight of the campus. The late John Ford, who was my first boss at Bond, took me via the site on the way to my interview. And that entailed coming down here, turning into a narrow tarred road, which very quickly became a sandy track, to see a pine forest, lots of sand, a couple of dredgers at work in the swamp, and a crane or two barely visible over the brow of the hill. John turned to me with a smile and an expansive gesture and said, "This is the campus." I thought to myself, This is an act of faith. However, I was captured by the vision and by the opportunity to be something that was new and different. And because of the enthusiasm of the Bond community, the feeling of the place was vital, positive and creative, and we all soon came to realise that we were helping to create something special. Although the research profile of the university has grown considerably, in its early years, Bond consciously put its academic emphasis on teaching quality, more perhaps than any other university in Australia. And this was a formula that worked very well for us at that time. Small class sizes enhanced both the student and teacher experience, and Bond started to win national recognition quite early in its life for student satisfaction in sector-wide surveys. It is now, and has for many years, been consistently rated at or near the top in Australia for that. The student councils, now student associations, have also always played a crucial role. The way in which the university and its student representative bodies have worked together has been a key ingredient in developing the student experience. And the contribution of elected student bodies has been so important in populating the semester calendar with the social, recreational and sporting activity, which is such a rich and important part of student life at Bond. Can you imagine another university where most of the student body would join staff in a protest against a possible takeover by a public university, all wearing t-shirts emblazoned with Bond University, private, independent, and here to stay? That happened in early '96. So Bond's strategic positioning of the student experience today has its roots in the voice of our students and has come from the actions of our employees rather than something that was envisaged, planned and imposed by management. From the beginning, the student experience has forged enduring relationships, a worldwide network of alumni whose friendships endure. A network which sprung up amongst the students themselves is something that Bond now actively encourages, but it was born of the unique student experience. Our alumni have a special bond among themselves that we now actively nurture through homecoming events and alumni activities. This is the network that you are about to join. If there ever was a testament to the power of love, our students and alumni have shown it in their enduring affection for the university. For those of us who work with you, it is really something quite special to be part of a place of learning that generates such strong and enduring loyalty. So what have been the key takeaways from my little ramble through history? 1, life sometimes places unusual career opportunities in our path. Don't dismiss them out of hand. Research them. If you find them interesting and think that they may have potential for you, pursue them. They might just be the doorway to a great career. 2, always care about individuals. Care about those with whom you work and those for whom you work, including your customers. In my case, you guys. Investing time to listen, to support and to encourage will result in mutual respect, in trust, and that most valuable of attributes, loyalty. Go forth and enjoy your successes, learn from your failures, and work hard to achieve your goals. And do not forget to extend your caring to your loved ones and, importantly, to yourselves. My heartfelt congratulations to you on your achievements, which we celebrate today. Thank you.
Well, there's some good news and some bad news for you now. The first is I want you to see that the diversity that the Vice-Chancellor spoke about extends to height-challenged people, and that's why I'm standing on a box. The other good news for you is that I was going to give a suitably appropriate speech, and the bad news for me is that Dr. Alan Finch has stolen all my lines, which means that my speech is going to be a lot shorter, which you'll be glad to hear. How like Alan to take this time when it's his moment in the sun to get an honorary doctorate on the basis that the Vice-Chancellor mentioned, and to say nothing about himself, but only to speak about Bond. What an extraordinary measure of this man that he takes this opportunity when he could sit up here in front of all of these people and do one of those I am speeches to talk about the university to which he's devoted so much of his life and the importance of it in the lives of you, our students. What he said as to the history of the university has been fantastic, because it's given me a better sense of the corporate memory, which is shared not only by Alan, but also by John Lelevre, who I see sitting here in the front row. They tell us about the history of the university, and we must capture those moments. And you as alumni need to capture that thought, because it's created what has given you what it has given. And that is an extraordinary experience based upon the values that Alan has spoken about. I want you to join with me in thanking him for the history he's given, for what he's done very carefully, and not only given you the history, but actually drawn it together to give you what you take from it. You know, look at your career path, the fact that whatever you do in your life will go and forge that path and make each of you unique in what your skills and attributes are. To care about individuals, which is something that is still really important, especially in this social media world. To look at trust and loyalty, and then above all, to go and enjoy yourselves and care for your family. I would like you to join with me in thanking Dr. Alan Finch for that extraordinary address. Well, as I said, there's not much left, and the Vice-Chancellor welcomed all of our guests, all of the named some, welcomed others of by category, which is mainly the parents and the supporters, who are no less important for the fact that we're not calling your names out individually. You will have to be satisfied with the fact that we will call out individually the names of the people that you've come here to support. Now, while this is a fabulous event, and it is a family event, and it's a really important event for all of the graduands, there are some members of the audience for whom this is not as fascinating, and that are the younger members. Now, I would like you all please to be patient if they find it a little bit less exciting and if they choose to call out or run around. And it's very important for us that they have a really good memory of this event, because we expect them here on this stage in the not too distant future. So bear with it and please be patient, and please do not take them outside if they do call out or want to run. It is a wonderful event for families and friends. I have sat right there where you've sat, because one of our daughters came to Bond and she's had the experience that you've had. But I have to say that as a parent, I sat there, and it was a bit like those moments in wedding ceremonies where they say if there's anyone who knows any reason why this couple should not be married. I always sat there worried that until that moment came, because you're not graduates yet, don't be too satisfied. I've got a few words to say, and there's a formal bit that has to come before you get that precious moment. And I was always worried that someone would jump up and say, not that one. So stay calm, it's going to be okay. Alan also mentioned the staff of the university, and I'm sure that on your behalf you would want me to thank the members of staff and all the general staff of the university who have made this such a wonderful experience for you. But the other thing that Alan said, which is really true, and he epitomises it, is that concept of once a Bondie, always a Bondie. And I realised that very early in my time of being in this position, when I would go anywhere in the country, and whenever I said to me, people say, well, what do you do? And you sort of say what you do. And one of the things I always said up front, because it's about the best thing I do, is that I'm Chancellor at Bond. And I can tell the faces that just light up when I say that, and they're the other Bondies in the room. And that joy and pride in being here is something that doesn't go away. And you'll have that with you always. And don't forget that whenever the word Bond is mentioned, just light up, because otherwise you won't know who the other Bondies are in the audience. So I'm going to stop right there, because as I say, it's been all said, but I've got one more thing to do. Being Chancellor requires me to undertake some formal tasks, but the best one is formally to admit the graduands to their degrees and to transform them with a magic wand into graduates of the university. So I now call on the Chair of the Academic Senate to present the candidates for degrees.
Will all candidates for degrees please stand? Chancellor, I wish to present graduands from the Bond Business School and the Faculty of Law for admission to awards of Bond University. Chancellor, I certify to you and to the university that the graduands have satisfied the requirements for admission to the award for which they are being presented.
With the authority of Council, I hereby admit you to the awards for which you have qualified. I also admit those who have qualified for their degrees who are unable to be present today. Ladies and gentlemen, graduates, that is the moment of graduation. Please join with me in congratulating the most recent graduates of Bond University. We'll now move to the formal presentation of testamus.
Graduates, please be seated.
Chancellor, the following candidates are presented for the award of Research Doctorate. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Khaled Jamal Fadel Hatteh. Thesis title, Topics on Financial Distress, Prediction Modeling. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Bond Business School. Mitchell Simmons. Hill Fung Ton. Dylan Thomas Wadwell. Reagan Agaba. James Rudy Block. Georgia Lee Bovink. Charlie Joanna Boileau. Anthony John Caben. Yuingtun Jong. Fabian Sena. Jessica Martland. Enya Macion. Grace Miller. Jingjuing Pan. Sin Yu Poon. Rosanna Francis Relton. Yuri Taniguchi. Brady Tink. Jack Michael Tobiano. Jules Chiember. Ricardo Vilson Mugior. Shui Sha. Fan Li Zhong. Vivian Zhu. Blake Jared Angus. Marie Eggleton. Jack Allen Lund. Steele Jordan Douglas Schules. Wing Ho Tang. Samuel James Went. Hong Kai Huen. Ihao Wu. Ka-hing Hui. Matthew Thomas Jobson. Christy Soyoung Lee. Ting Ting Ya. Ricardo Malo. Parth KC. Laura Constanza Mejia Ortiz. Zondri Ladigan. Sinyu Zhong. Jack Joseph Brailsford. Menglu Zhao. Norshazlina Tan Binti Muhammad Shahril Tan. Stephen Robert William Getormson. Fiona K. McKenzie. Mayu Kumar Chandrakanbai Mesurya. Geopedio Sam. Lakshmi Deepak Sairam Podilla. Sarah A. Cox. Tamara May Hansen. Grace Louise McPherson. John Edward Sendell. Daniel Simpson. Marion Thexton. Robert John Walsh. Rakesh Arkat Chavashekar. Shinan Liu. Ashish Chako. Koitachi Mok. Sebastian Saul Arasamena Olsen. Chung Tu Ha. Xin Xin Zheng. Tomoyuki Mizushi. The university is proud of its long association with Business Breakthrough University. Together, we teach a graduate certificate of global leadership and Master of Business Administration program tailored to meet the needs of Japanese business. Chancellor, I wish to present the following graduates from the Bond University BBT Global Leadership Program. Taiju Yamashita. Masahiro Saito. And to recognize those not in attendance, Takayuki Fujitomi, Katsuya Ino, Naoki Initsuka, Satoshi Kanayama, Joe Kawaguchi, Yoshinari Kunihiro, Jinpei Negishi, Nobuki Watanabe, Makoto Yamada, Fumitu Yanagisawa. Chancellor, I present undergraduates from the Faculty of Law. Ashley Robin Clark. Olivia Georgina Delinicolis. Ganya Dib. Alan Sukik Yu. Inoki Falatau. Maxwell Gibbons. Jessica Rose Gorton. Hannah Grace Gurney. Isabella Sean Hoffman. Emin Karim. Bernardine Lai Sing Ping. Wilson Jun Ming Lau. Haiyuan Lee. Tatiana Elena Walker Lim. Rose Camille Lopez. Thomas McKee. Daniel Sean Medley. Taylor Marie Meyer. Sarah Kate Morrison. Taylin Renee Murray. Zoe Emma Mackenzie O'Dwyer. Isabella Patricia Phillips. Braden Poacher. Tate John Ransom. Asia Kadek Samurta. Jordan Tondelier. Chu-Yu Wong. Leila Almadi. Samuel Shien-Un Bong. Zachariah Burridge. Morgan Sue Gabriel. Stephanie Julia Gertz. Carla Lee McPherson. Eleanor Ann Meany. Annabelle Louise Morton. Brody Harrison Roberts. Cameron Luke Simpson. Solomon Wright. Emily Ann Young. Michaela Bissett. Tara Canning. Emily Rose Moody. Emma Georgina Sam. Brooke Emily Simpson. Chancellor, I present postgraduates from the Faculty of Law. Sonali Dulula. Michelle Ann Karaman. Ruby Scarlett Priestley. Ian Marston Chideco. Yulong Young. Chi Jai. William Braun. Jessica Kachavalani. Rebecca Betty Dales. Yvette Christine Reyes Valdez. Mungchi U. Natalie Marie Lesko. Kuan Yu Lee. Si Ling. Chase Michael Martin. Lauren Catherine McDonald. Liam James Radich. Andrew James Wallace. Shuyang Wong. Michelle Xiao. Danielle Mudhar. Dylan Mudhar. Chancellor, the valedictorian has been selected to give the address on behalf of the graduating cohort this morning. He is graduating from the Faculty of Law and Bond Business School, has achieved a cumulative percentage average of 86% and a cumulative grade point average of 3.7 out of a possible 4.0. He has achieved a grade of high distinction in 37 subjects, has been placed on the Dean's List for academic excellence in 3 semesters, and the Vice Chancellor's List for academic excellence in 7 semesters. Graduating with a combined Bachelor of Laws Honors Class 1 and Bachelor of Commerce, Adam Rose.
Good morning, Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, members of faculty, distinguished guests, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Sorry, I'm kind of sick. I'm honoured to be representing such a diverse group of students and to be celebrating our graduation today. You know, it is a funny feeling standing here with these degrees in my hand. When this is hanging in a future office that I might hope to have, a potential client might give it a brief glance just to be satisfied that I've achieved at least the minimum requirements to get a degree. But I think if all we were after was an educational qualification, we could all agree that there would be a much easier way to go about it. What that client might not see, though, is the significance that these certificates have to each of us as a symbol of the personal experiences and development that we've had during our time here at Bond. The education that we've received at Bond is truly world-class, and the facilities and the effort every lecturer has put into every subject has meant that we can be confident in the knowledge that we have as we step forward in our careers. But if we're to limit ourselves to considering our time at university as to the knowledge that we've learned in class, I think it really wouldn't encapsulate what it means to graduate with a degree from Bond. When I was thinking about what it does mean to be a Bondie then, I found it really difficult to pinpoint a definition that sticks. And I think that's because this university has been a place where we've had the opportunity to be surrounded by people from all around Australia and all around the world. And it's been together that we've been able to add to the student culture here and be part of the community. Together, we've procrastinated in the library, competed against each other in sports, academic competitions, been on student associations and clubs together, or simply bonded over a shared addiction to caffeine during weeks 13 and 14. During our time here, it's been these experiences that we've had to learn about ourselves and about the world around us, and we've been imbued with a desire to make change, to chase down opportunities, and as cliched as it does sound, to bounce back when knocked down. Regardless of our paths after university, we leave Bond not only with a fantastic education, but with an international and strategic mindset and fantastic personal and professional networks. It's because of this that we can be confident that not only do we have a great education, but we have a complete tool set to deal with any challenges that we might have in our careers. Today, though, isn't just an opportunity to celebrate our own achievements, but to thank those who have been part of this important milestone. During our degrees, we've benefited from the unwavering support of every employee at Bond who keep this university operating as a well-oiled machine. Among others, we've had the Student Business Centre to keep us in classes that we want to be in, academics to teach us and motivate us in those classes, librarians to support us and deal with the inevitable fallout that occurs when we struggle with the assessments in those classes, the food and beverage staff to keep us fueled, Bond Sport to try and keep us fit, and the Career Development Centre to try and set us apart. While it's impossible to list and acknowledge everyone by name or department, On behalf of the graduating cohort, I sincerely would like to thank everyone who's contributed to our time here at this university. I would like to also extend our thanks to our family and friends and loved ones who have made sacrifices, encouraged us, and motivated us. It's unlikely that any of us would have really made it to this point had it not been for your motivation, and I'm sure that we'll not let you down. As we leave this university, we gain membership to a large community of alumni that meet regularly in locations all over the world. Many of us have already experienced the strength of this network during our degrees from participation in mentoring programs. From my time at Bond, it's clear to me why this community is so strong, with a legacy having developed that encourages the continuation of the relationships that we've made during our time here for the benefit of not only ourselves in our future careers, but also for the benefit of future students that have yet to come through these doors. While Bond may not be very old when compared to some universities, the legacy developed here has made it truly special, and I'm sure we'll all be reminded of much more than simply passing our exams in this sports hall when we hang our degrees on the wall. Whether you're pursuing further study or going on to work, I look forward to staying in contact with the talented group of individuals who are graduating today, and I'm excited to see where we'll all go. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that almost brings us to the close of formalities here, but I would like to acknowledge today's valedictorian, Adam Rose. You've heard about his academic record, which is absolutely outstanding. The valedictorian is always selected on the basis of academic excellence, and I continue to be amazed how academic excellence and the ability to send such a powerful message, usually through such a young voice, with such a mature sentiment, go hand in hand. And Adam, we've had a very rich tradition here of excellence of valedictory speakers, and you follow in that line. Adam's family is here. I think I see them down there, so his parents and his brother, and is that Nan there, who's not got a dry eye at the moment, I'm sure. So his family have travelled up from Melbourne. Adam, I'm sure they're equally as proud of you as the university is. Congratulations on your achievements, and thank you very much for such a fine address. So we have a sense of tradition at this university. So at graduation ceremonies, we dress up in rather fancy, and for the younger generation, rather strange, antiquated clothing, which can be particularly difficult during the February ceremony when it's 40 degrees outside. Because, of course, these costumes are designed essentially for from the medieval days, and so they're designed to actually keep you warm rather than cool. But on a day like today, there is no problem in wearing these, so wear them proudly. And part of that tradition is that while you're wearing the gown at the end of each ceremony, I ask our graduating class to be upstanding. And I'll ask whether you accept the charge. So this essentially is an ode which is read out to each graduating class since our inception, and at the end of that I will ask our graduating class whether they accept. The charge to our graduates. I charge you as graduates of Bond University to demonstrate at all times the highest moral and ethical standards, to apply your learnings and education to the benefit of society, to pursue the highest standards in all your endeavours with excellence always your aim, and to forever support and enhance the reputation of your university through engagement as proud alumni. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Oh, come on! We've been sitting here for almost 2 hours and I've built up to this final moment. You with me? They're louder than you are. Graduates, do you accept that charge? Yes! That's better. Please be seated. So it's my great pleasure on behalf of the Council and the University to close today's proceedings. Before I do, can I again acknowledge our speakers. I acknowledge the Chancellor for presiding over the ceremony, to our honorary doctorate and provider of the occasional address, Dr. Alan Finch, to our valedictorian, Mr. Adam Rose. Can I also acknowledge the reader of names on her eloquence and pronunciation, Ms. Taryn Mathis. And can I echo the sentiments of our valedictorian? So there are many in the room here today who have assisted our graduates and supported them on their journey. And while you have a commonality now of a degree from this fine institution, in each and every individual way, your journey will have been a very personal one. And your journey will have not been made possible without the support of many of those around you. Obviously, immediate family, wider family, friends, neighbours, school principals, supporters in general, anonymous donors. For those of you who have received bursaries or scholarship, you may have received financial support from individuals that you have never met. Such is the power of education. You now have one of the greatest gifts in the world. You should utilise that gift wisely. But today you should also recognise that it is not just a moment of celebration, but it is a moment of reflection. So take an opportunity to reach out to those that have helped you along the way. Perhaps not just over the immediacy of the last couple of years, but perhaps over your lifetime. Because your journey here today will have been full of twists and turns, I'm sure. And while many are here in the audience to support you, many are not. And many will be of a generation where perhaps they do not really appreciate that a Facebook message or a text has real deep emotion behind it. So that thing which you are desperate to get out and switch back on as you walk out of the hall also has a function called a telephone. Please use it to call someone special today. I'm sure they would love to hear the sound of your voice and the simple words of I thank you and I love you. It is important to be humble. It is always important to be thankful and respectful. And as Bond graduates, you now have an onus placed upon you, and that is the responsibility to represent this university. Because despite the magnificence of the surrounds and our world-class facilities, and I'm sure many in the audience, when they come onto campus, and perhaps some for the first time today, are amazed at the beauty of the physical surrounds. But the reality is that this university is all about people. And it is all about students. And you now join 28,000 proud alumni around the world. And your actions will reflect not only upon you and your family, but will reflect upon this university. So I wish you well at those times in your life when you need to make key and core decisions, decisions that will challenge you, decisions that will challenge your moral compass. I trust that the values and the spirit of this institution remain with you forever. My congratulations on behalf of the faculty and the staff of this university on your achievements. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been an exceptionally patient audience today. It has been a wonderful morning of celebration, but it's probably also a last opportunity now to really let your hair down and make some noise for the latest graduating class from Bond University. How about it? Will our graduates now please be upstanding? Will the audience now please be upstanding for the departure of the academic procession? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance. Have a wonderful afternoon. Enjoy the day. And remember, probably the word for the day is pride. Have pride in this class. Have pride in their achievements. Thank you and enjoy.